Hello and welcome to this video series on how to apply for Canadian PR. Last time we talked about different topics like eligibility criteria, invitation round, CRS score, cutoff score. I also showed you how to calculate the score using our example candidate. That candidate was a single candidate with a bachelor's degree. If you haven't watched the previous video, I highly recommend watching it because this video is a continuation to that one. In this video, I'm going to answer the next logical question: how to improve your CRS score. But before that, I wanted to show you how the overall PR application process looks like and where we are and where we want to go. So this is how our overall PR application process looks like. First step is to understand the PR process. The second step is to have your educational credential assessment done. The third step is to prepare for IELTS general training exam. After that, you will create your profile, you will start gathering documents, you will submit your profile for invitation, and if you get invited, then you will start collecting other important documents like police certificate and medical exam document. Then you will upload those documents, review application, pay PR fees, and you will submit the application. And if everything goes right, then hopefully you will receive the COPR email. COPR means confirmation of PR. In the PR applicants community, it is also known as the golden email. Now let's look at how the CRS scoring system works. There are three different categories in the CRS scoring system. The first category is core or human capital points. You can score up to 500 points in this category. So if you are 29 or younger, then you will get maximum of 110 points. If you are a PhD holder, then you will get a maximum of 150 points. For language proficiency, you will get a maximum of 160 points. And if you have a Canadian work experience 5 years or more, you can get a maximum of 80 points. The second category is skill transferability points. You can get a maximum of 100 points for this category, maximum 50 points for education and 50 points for your work experience. And the third category is other factors. If you have a sibling in Canada, or if you have a job offer from a Canadian company, or if you have a provincial nomination, then you will get some additional points. There are other factors as well. Next, I'm going to talk about each category in detail. Now, let's discuss the impact of age on your CRS score. So if you are 20 to 29 years old, then you will get maximum 110 points. After that, they will decrease 5 or 6 points every year that passes. So let's say you are 30 years old, then you will only get 105 points. That's 5 points less than maximum 110 points. And if you are 31 years old, then you will only get 99 points. If you are 45 or more, then unfortunately you will get 0 points. They want young people. They want people who will contribute to their economy. And they don't want to overstretch their healthcare system. That's why they have included this factor. That is why it is so important to start your PR application process as early as possible, because you don't want to lose these points. Now let's talk about education points. You can get core points as well as skill transferability points for your education. If you have bachelor's degree, then you will get 120 points. If you have 2 degrees, so for example, if you have a bachelor's degree and a postgraduate diploma, then you will get 128 points. And if you have a master's degree, then you will get 135 points. A PhD holder will get maximum 150 core points. You will also get skill transferability points in addition to these core points. So if you have 2 degrees or master's degree, then you will get a maximum of 50 points. But there is a condition. You need to score CLB level 9 or above in your IELTS exam to get those 50 points. If you scored less than CLB level 9, or if you have only bachelor's degree, then you will get 25 points for skill transferability. And also remember, these 50 points are in addition to the core points, and that's education's impact on your CRS score. Now let's talk about the most important factor, language proficiency. You can get core points as well as skill transferability points for your language proficiency. So if you scored CLB level 8 in your IELTS, then you will get 92 core points. If you scored CLB level 9, then you will get 124 points. That's 32 more points than CLB level 8. And if you scored CLB level 10, then you will get maximum 136 points for this category. Now if you don't know what CLB level 8, 9 or 10 means, let me quickly show you what that means. CLB level 8 means you scored 6.5 out of 9 in reading, 6.5 in writing, 7.5 in listening, and 6.5 in speaking. CLB level 9 means you have scored 7 in reading, 7 in writing, 8 in listening, and 7 in speaking. So that is what CLB level 8, 9 and 10 means. You will also get skill transferability points. So let's say if you have 2 degrees, a bachelor's degree and a postgraduate diploma, or if you have a master's degree, then you will get a maximum 50 points. But there is a condition. You need CLB level 9 or above in your language proficiency to get those 50 points. If you have less score or if you have only bachelor's degree, then you will only get 25 points. You will also get maximum 50 points for your work experience if you scored CLB level 9 or above and your work experience is 3 years or more. That is why it is important to score at least CLB level 9 in your language proficiency, because not only you will get more core points, but you will also get maximum skill transferability points. Again, all these points are for single applicants only. If you are coming with your spouse, then the scoring system is slightly different, and that is what I'm going to talk about next. If you are coming with your spouse, then primary applicant gets less points. For example, single applicant who has a master's degree will get 135 points for their education, but with spouse you will only get 126 points for master's degree, but the points will be added back depending on spouse's skill. So if your spouse has a bachelor's degree, then you will get 8 points, and if your spouse has a master's or more, then you will get 10 points back. So let's say you and your spouse both have master's degree, then you will get 126 plus 10, that is 136 total points for your education. Similarly, they calculate CRS points for language proficiency as well. Primary applicant gets less points for language proficiency, and points are added back depending on their spouse's language proficiency, and it's the same for Canadian work experience points. And you don't have to remember the breakdown of all these points. You just go on their website and start calculating your CRS score from here. I'm just showing you the impact of each factor on your total CRS score. The third and last category of points is additional factors. If you have a brother or sister in Canada, even if your spouse has a brother or sister in Canada, you can claim additional 15 points. If you have a valid job offer for NOC 0A or B from a Canadian company, you can claim 50 points for that. The only condition is that the job offer has to have a valid LMIA document. LMIA means Labor Market Impact Assessment. If you have a French proficiency, then you can claim 30 more points. If you have bachelor's or master's in Canada, then you can get 30 more points for that. And finally, if you have a provincial nomination, that is worth 600 points. That is a different class of PR, but if you get a provincial nomination, then you won't have to worry about your language proficiency, your education, your work experience. You will definitely get invited in the invitation round. Now let's see how to beat that cutoff score. So I'm going to go on their official website here, And let's start with our example candidate. In the last video, that candidate was a single applicant. He had a bachelor's degree and 2 years of experience in a company. And then let's see what he needs to get to 475. So I'm going to start. Marital status single. How old are you? 26. The level of education, bachelor's degree. There is no Canadian degree. Test results, yes. IELTS, and he had scored CLB level 8, that is 6.5 in speaking, 7.5 in listening, 6.5 in reading, and 6.5 in writing. Do you have any other language results? Not applicable. Work experience in Canada? None. Foreign skilled work experience is 2 years. Certificate of qualification? No. Do you have a valid job offer? No. Nomination certificate is no. And no sibling in Canada. And so if I click here and calculate the score, you will see that the grand total is 348. You can also see our example candidate scored 322 core points and skill transferability points. He scored 13 in education and foreign work experience also 13. So total skill transferability points is 26. Remember, he can get a maximum of 100 skill transferability factor points. Now let's start changing some factors. I'm going to say 28 years of age here, and that candidate now has a master's degree, and in IELTS exam he scored CLB level 9, that is 7, 8, 7 and 7, and he also got one more year of experience. And let's calculate the score now. You can see the core points have increased 369, and he got maximum 50 plus 50, 100 skill transferability points for education and foreign experience. And a grand total is 469, which is very close to our cutoff score. The last cutoff score was 475. So our candidate now has 3 to 4 options to improve his CRS score even more. He can get more IELTS score. He can also try for a valid job offer from a Canadian company and claim 50 points for that, or he can get French proficiency points, that's 30 more points. I think it is possible to get CLB level 10 in IELTS, and we don't have to worry about job offer or French proficiency points. So I'm going to change all these points to CLB level 10, and that's maximum points for each section. And if I click on calculate your score again, you will see that 481, and that candidate has easily beaten the cutoff score for the invitation round. In this scenario, he will definitely get invited to apply. Now I'm going to calculate the ideal candidate's CRS score for someone who is coming with their spouse. So married, is your spouse a permanent resident of Canada? No. Will your spouse come with you to Canada? Yes. I'm going to select 29. Level of education is master's, no Canadian degree, again maximum score, IELTS, work experience is 3 years or more, no certificate of qualification, no job offer, no nomination, and no sibling in Canada. Now in this section we need to enter the spouse's skills. What is the highest level of education for which your spouse has earned a Canadian degree or an ECA done? So I'm going to select master's degree. How many years of skilled work experience in Canada your spouse has? I'm going to select none. And the language test score, I'm going to select IELTS, and I'm going to select CLB level 9 for this. So that's 7, 8, 7 and 7. And if I click calculate your score here, 484 points. So even our ideal candidate who's coming with the spouse has beaten the cutoff score easily, and they will both get invited to apply in the invitation round. Remember, the cutoff score for the last invitation round was 475 or 476, around that number. So this is what you need in order to get the invitation to apply for Canadian PR. So now you know how this whole CRS system works, and I have also explained how each factor impacts your total. It's quite simple. If you don't score more than the cutoff score, you will not get invited to apply. Now you are in a position to plan ahead. You know where you are, you know what you need, and I have showed you how to get there. So let's say that you are confident that if you get a good score in your IELTS, then you will get the invitation. The next step will be to plan for the IELTS exam, and that is what I'm going to talk about in the next video. I will try to cover important topics like how to plan for the exam, how to book the date, how to study, and how they score different sections. I will also share my tips on how to get the maximum out of this exam. So if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel and like this video. I'll see you in the next one.